Hey guys, Josh here to let you know that InterBrews now has a Patreon page. That's right, you can lend your support to the podcast that's been going 7 years strong, bringing you the best and brightest of the craft beer scene here in Houston and beyond. And as a bonus, as a Patreon subscriber, you can get exclusive episodes of the show. That's right, we'll be doing some special interviews and episodes just for you, our supporters. So thank you so much. If you've loved the show, which I hope that is you if you're listening, then head on over to patreon.com/interbrews or interbrews.com/Patreon or anywhere you see the link. Head on over and lend us your support so that we can keep bringing you the show and make it bigger and better than ever. We appreciate it. Now, on to the show.
The following is a presentation of Stewed Productions.
Whatever you want to say.
I guess I forgot.
That's fine. Let's just keep going. I like it. Yeah. Who are you?
This is Marcus with Baa Baa Brewhouse.
And we're listening to InterBrews. Oh, man.
This is InterBrews.
It's not a highly refined, polished show. It's raw. It's natural. Organic, some people would say. I just told you not to touch your mic stand, and I'm over here fiddling and adjusting. I'm a hypocrite. I apologize.
That's why I do what I do.
Yeah. Hey,
Follow the
Marcus.
leader.
Hey, guys.
How are things?
Things are well. Welcome back to the Brewhouse, by the way. You haven't been here in quite some time.
It's been a minute. It's been since we did the show last, which was right after y'all opened.
That was about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I've seen you since then.
Yeah.
But it's not been here.
Right. We did an episode at Whole Foods not that long ago. I mean, earlier this year. How long ago was that? It doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
A couple months.
A few months back.
It's been a few months because y'all did the collaboration. But things have changed a lot since the last time I was here. New system.
Big time. So total renovation. We're 3/4-ish through that renovation. New brew house, new fermenters, new cold room.
Yeah.
Cold room now is outside.
Yeah.
So it's not taking up all this space that we're sitting in now.
Yeah, now, out today, you don't say this much in Houston, but all of outside's a cold room today.
Yes.
Just to set the stage. We're all bundled up.
It's actually warmer in the walk-in than it is right now in the brew house.
Yeah. No, it feels good. I even took my jacket off. I got layers. I got too many layers. Although I may go grab that in here in a little bit. If you hear a pause and me going, ugh. Hey, Mike.
Hi.
TD Mike's here.
Yep, I'm here.
Brookshire, Texas, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know. Baa Baa Brewhouse. Formerly Houston area's smallest brewery. No more.
No more.
Y'all had the cute little stickers, which I still have at the house, or on my refrigerator.
We still have the cute little stickers.
Okay. I'm glad y'all kept those. But the whole
Stickers are good.
The whole thing behind it was that, your wife Kinga, who's not with us at this episode, she's working like full time. What you were just saying, right?
She's working full time. Yep.
Yeah. Brewery stuff.
Brewery full time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not just talking all day like we do. She's working out there, pressing the flesh, getting the whatever she does. I'm sure a little bit of everything, right?
She's selling beer today.
Oh, cool. So, yeah.
We've got tanks full of beer, and they've got to go. So she's working on that today.
That's a good problem to have.
Well, that seems like a good segue. What's in the tanks?
So we've got a 7-barrel behind us that's full of gobble gobble goo.
Yeah.
It's going out next week.
Nice. Okay.
The other tanks are getting full with Christmas beers.
Christmas beer. We're almost there.
They get filled up next week.
Yeah. Was Thanksgiving? When is Thanksgiving? Is that next week?
Yeah.
Next week.
Man, it seems like we just had Halloween. Speaking of, that's the segue. I was going to say this. We were talking before. I know you got your hands on the beer, and we'll talk about the beer. The new Halloween movie. You said you'd not seen it. Mike, you hadn't seen it either. Weren't you named after Michael Myers from the Halloween movies? Didn't that your mom was a big fan?
No.
Okay. We'll just go with that. Anyway, so it's the direct sequel in the canon, right, of the original Halloween. Really fun movie. I mean, we're kind of past we're past Halloween. Still a fun movie, so when it comes out on video or whatever and download, I recommend it. But in the movie, this was my only pet peeve. We probably don't even need headphones if y'all want to just take them off. If it's troubling y'all. Totally up to y'all.
It's better this way.
Okay. It keeps your ears warm,
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
Go ahead.
Anyway, in the movie, they have a couple of podcasters. And they have it, it distracted, like my wife and I, we went and watched it on Halloween, like at 11:15 in the morning because we had to pick up the girls about the time it was over from school. So we went and watched it. And in the movie, they have a couple of podcasters. I won't give away. Are we just going to, hold on. Can't just tear into a beer yet. Wait till the prop.
The man is thirsty.
I know, right? But anyway, they have a Tascam DR40 like we use here on every episode. We were talking recorders ahead of time, but they're just holding it and they're doing interviews like this, and they're not coming back and forth. And the handling noise on these, you can't. It's a little much. You really need a handle, like you have a handle you can screw into the bottom, and they didn't have that. So I'm like, they're getting a lot of handling noise. That wouldn't be good for a podcast. So it was a little distracting for him. It took me out of the story there for a second. I was like, telling my wife, like, look, they're going to get a lot of handling noise. The ambiance there, it's not going to be good sound. They're going to get all of her and none of their questions. It's not going to be good audio.
Well, it's not what we have here.
No,
We've got quality audio here.
yeah,
You've got a board.
yeah. We got
You've
good
got a
dynamic
phone.
Yeah,
You've got a headphone amp.
we got a headphone amp that works most of the time. We've got dynamic mics, which is the key. You don't want condenser mics when you're out and about because that takes up all the sound everywhere. If you're doing a podcast, don't do that. Do dynamic if you're going to be on location. Only do condenser if you're like in a studio and it's sound controlled. Just saying.
Right.
Future reference.
So, how did these mics sound then when you say crack a beer?
Oh, did you
How
hear
does-
that?
how does that work?
That sounds actually that was crystal clear. Actually,
Does it pick up that sound nicely? Is
yeah.
it too loud?
No. You just hold it right there and just it's perfect.
We have 4 to taste today. I think we should maybe crack into one of those.
Well, you've got your notes, so let's dive right in. Where should we start?
You pick, I'll pour.
Well, where do you guys want to start here? So we have 4 beers. Zwarte Kwas. So now this is we call it a seasonal ale.
Mm-hmm.
This was done for the Fall Harvest Polish Festival.
Mm.
This is done. It's a very simple ale.
Okay.
Reminiscent of a light lager.
Yeah. Okay.
Done with Polish hops.
Oh, cool.
We've got the beer that is sold up at Renfest.
Oh yes, I saw your van truck van panel truck, whatever you want to call it.
Exactly.
Chock just to the gills.
So we sell this at 3 locations at Renfest, most notably the Polish pub.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
This is I would say it's a similar beer to Zwarte Kwas, but it's different hops. This is noble hops.
Okay.
And it's 6.8%.
Okay.
The Zwarte Kwas is 4.2.
How do you say this?
4.25. So that L with the slash, treat that like a W.
Zwarte Kwas.
There you go. Perfect.
Look at you.
It's better than I can do. And then we've got 2 special beers, one-of-a-kind beers. These will never be made again.
Ooh.
And they were released this weekend, Eugenia and Ram Aldo.
Ramaldo.
So U-E-W-E,
Mm-hmm.
U,
You. Okay.
and
Got you.
Ram
Gotcha.
on the sheep theme.
Yeah.
So Eugenia is a 5.9% hazy pale ale
Okay.
with Citra, Galaxy, and Brew 1.
Okay.
Ramaldo is a hazy double IPA, 6.9%, Citra,
Okay.
Galaxy, and Amarillo.
Okay. Oh, I think etiquette would say Zwath. Is it Zwarte Kwas? Is that, did I say that?
You numbnut.
I
This one?
I think we should start there.
I think
It's a
that's-
very nice, light
Yeah,
beer.
you start light and then go
Zwarte Kwas.
right? Zwati?
The L.
Right,
is a
Zwa.
W.
like a W. Treat-
Zwati.
Zwarte.
Zwati Quat. Zwati Quat. Kwas.
There you go.
Yeah.
So let's try that one.
That's right. Let's do it.
Polish hops.
Polish hops.
What are the name of the hops?
This is Lublin and Marinka.
Okay.
So these are standard hops that are used in a lot of Polish light lagers.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Poland has a good beer background, like a history, like that doesn't get the press. That's crystal clear.
Mm-hmm.
We make clear beer out here.
Yeah, no,
Believe it or not, we make beer that can be clear.
that is pristine. Like that's
So unpasteurized, unfiltered.
really. All right, tell me about the process for this beer. How did you get such a pristine crystal?
You lager it.
Just lager.
It's all about lagering.
Like we're lagering right now. It feels.
We are lagering. right
We're
now.
at lagering temperatures right now. That's super drinkable.
Mhm.
Like all day.
So it's a nice, clean. Really, it's kind of it's inspired by really like a pilsner style.
yeah,
It is an ale, so it's not exactly
Really?
a pilsner.
yeah,
But we do it like a pilsner, and we do very low fermentation
Wow.
temps. So we're at the low end of the ale spectrum on this one.
okay.
No dry hopping. 5-day ferment.
You're-
Straight to bright.
Really, what temperature?
About 62, 63.
Okay.
So
Okay.
super low.
Yeah, but it's
So we use a pretty dynamic yeast for this ale, and we use the same yeast in the Renaissance beer as well. So
yeah. Okay, I like it. I like this yeast. I've been. It's been a while since I've been reading any like beer books and stuff, but I'm getting ready for an interview, so I've been reading the Goza book, and he gets into
nice.
yeast, which, I love those beer specific, the style specific books, because they talk about first the history. Typically, how they're laid out is the history, and then the ingredients, and go through each one, and then kind of process, and then recipes is typically how they lay those books out. And right now, I'm reading the recipe or the ingredients, and talking about the yeast. You have to worry about pH, especially when you're going to do like a sour beer, which is the book I'm reading. It's a Goza book, but this is obviously not that. But temperature, fermentation and all that kind of stuff plays a big role into the final beer. So the fact that this is an ale and this, that's great. That's remarkable.
You could easily pass this off as a light lager. I mean, and that's what inspired us to do this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is beer. It's done in festival style. So it's done. It's 4.25% for a reason, because during festival, it could be 60, it could be 90, it could be 110. So
right.
This is 4.2. You can drink 100 of these and you're fine.
No,
You
this
drive
is
home.
great. I'm a huge fan of this. I had no idea.
And this is something that's your seasonal. I see. So
Yeah, so we'll do this. We'll do this beer again next year at Polish Fest.
You used Polish hop. Is this like you say like Polish light in the realm of Polish lagers?
Yeah, and if you've had a Polish lager, you'll taste some of that floralness, some of those earthy and floral notes you have in this beer, either on the nose or on the tongue. You'll get those in the Polish light lagers.
Yeah.
You might even get like a little bit of honey sweetness at the end, and that's all part of the style.
That's really good. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like Germany and Czech Republic get all the love, it seems, in Britain, all the European history beer love. But, don't sleep on Poland. Grzycki's. You ever heard of a Grzycki? That's Polish, right? That's a Polish style. Like a smoked darker.
The Grodzisk.
Oh, how do you say it?
Grodzisk.
yeah,
That sounds a lot better.
I know what that is. I don't know what you were saying.
Well, that's how it looks on the
kidding.
package.
I don't know.
Live Oak makes one.
And it's amazing.
Yeah.
The oak smoked wheat beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chip loves smoked beers. I like smoked beers too.
That's a spectacular beer, by the way.
Yeah. So when you go back to, I know we talked about this last time I was here, but it was forever ago. And your wife from Poland.
Mm-hmm.
Where in Poland is she from?
Around Poznan.
Okay.
So that's the western side.
Okay, which would be close to
Germany,
right? Okay, so that's hop growing and beer, 1,000-year history.
At least.
Yeah, that we know of, right? Or that was really
Known.
breweries around for 1,000 years, which it just blows my mind, because like the oldest building in North America is like 400 years old. I think there's like some pueblos that are maybe that old. 400 years.
That's young.
Yeah, they have like places they still use today over in England and places like that. 400 years old. It's nothing. I don't know where I was going to go with that. I just got lost in the time travel. Something about Poland. I was going to ask something about Poland, but I don't know. This is fantastic.
We can. I don't want to rush you by any means, but we can jump into this. This is a very similar beer, but it's done with German hops.
Oh, so we can kind of
same region.
Yeah.
If you want to dump that in a floor drain, don't feel like you have to chug it.
No.
It drains right under your feet.
Drain. We don't.
perish the thought.
Don't
It's
say
all,
that.
you said it was only like 4.2, right?
4.2.
Yeah, no, that's not. You don't dump a 4.2. It's really good.
You dump it down your throat.
Yeah, exactly. That's my dump pan. Is my liver.
Yeah. So this beer, it's very
I like
similar.
that a lot. Yeah.
You'll notice it's on the clarity scale. It's very, very, very similar. It's a little bit more carbonated.
How do you
And it's,
decide where you're going to hit the carbonation? Is it per style, or is it just like you kind of wait and see where the beer's going to be, and you're like, what, this could use a little more or less?
No, effectively it's per style. This was one of the first beers we did on the new brew house, and in the new bright tanks, in the new cooler. So temperature plays a big role in carbonation levels, as well as does PSI, but temperature plays a very big role. So conditioning a beer at 15 PSI and 50 degrees versus 34 degrees is a big difference.
Yeah.
So this one went a little overboard on carbonation, but clarity is the same, or very similar. It's a little darker in color, but it's a bit stronger as well. So, but you notice a big difference. This is more like a German style.
Yeah.
So this is more like
aroma. You start just from the aroma on.
6.8 here.
to me. This smells more like a Heineken.
Yeah.
but not like a Heineken, but similar to a Heineken. if
In
you
that
will.
in the neighborhood or
Not-
the neighborhood next to the neighborhood.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
there's a familiarity there, for sure, but it's not like a. And the problem with Heineken, those green bottles, if you're like now that they can them, it's a little bit different. But people are like, "Oh, Heineken's supposed to taste like that." It's like, no, that's from the green bottle. You know, the kind of the skunky element that you can get if you left it in the light too long. Even at the grocery store, I didn't realize that like fluorescent light can skunk a beer. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
Well, any light. It's any light on the UV spectrum.
Even LEDs.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Even what?
LEDs.
Oh.
If they emit UV light,
I
you're in
don't-
bad
did-
shape.
Yeah. I don't think they do. They. I don't know. The blue light. I don't know. That's a whole nother podcast.
Let's save that for a physicist.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need to do a whole show on light. No, we don't. Maybe we do. Light beers. Light in
So
beers.
we sell this at the Polish pub up at Renfest, and there's 2 other pubs as well. Polish pub's the biggest one. Have you guys been?
Yeah,
up there?
I've been to the Polish pub. Yeah.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll have this beer up there until the end of the fest this year.
I think we're going on the Friday after next. We're going Friday after Thanksgiving.
Black Friday. Nice. We'll have cans up there and kegs.
Cool.
So
So,
we-
all right, when you walk in,
Yeah.
which direction do you go for the Polish?
So walk in, turn right.
Okay.
You can go straight if you want to. You can go straight past the amphitheater. If you go straight past the amphitheater and just walk right over it
Straight.
and just keep going straight, you'll run right into the Polish pub.
Okay.
There's the guy who does the birds in the
Yeah.
back. So it's if you're looking at the guy who does the bird show, it's like 2 stores to the right.
Okay.
But it's in the outer ring all
Yeah.
the way in the back.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I know exactly what you're talking
And
about.
it's a great spot. It's,
Yeah.
it's a featured spot. They have live
It's a
shows
huge-
back
it's-
there.
Yeah, it's a huge area, seating area.
It's massive.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
been there.
Love me some Renfest.
And they have good beers on tap.
They do.
Great beers on tap over there.
You got your beers on tap.
Exactly.
That's what you're saying.
Hint, hint.
Yeah. So the malt bill on this one versus the first one, how different? What was it different?
No,
at
no,
all?
it's very similar. It's predominantly Pilsner malt through both of these.
It's just
I love
the hops that are different. You said.
Hops are different, and the ABV is a bit different.
All right. So how many hops are in this one? How many different varieties?
This is a blend of the 4 noble hops. So
Okay,
this is
all four.
a nice
Well,
a nice blend.
Is it the 4 like old school, and then they've added some noble hops, or is there like what are they? They're like Hallertau. How do you pronounce it?
Hallertau.
Hallertau,
Hallertau, and then
Tettnang,
yeah, and then what's the S?
Saaz.
Saaz, yeah, SAAZ, Saaz, and then there's more than 4, right? There's like 6. I don't know.
So we
I
read up.
don't know.
we keep it traditional.
Yeah.
The original list says there were 4, so we blend those 4.
Okay.
And we blend them through the process. This one may be a little more bitter as well by design.
Yeah.
A little more hops up front in the boil.
Mm-hmm.
We actually do a first wort hop with this, which is supposedly gives you a nice soft bitterness versus like a very harsh bitterness.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't really taste it.
I like to do that in all of our beers.
So
If we're bittering, we like to do a first wort hop because I really like, mostly I like the smell
Yeah.
in the kettle.
So it's just after you mash and sparge, and then before you boil.
It's basically while we're mashing out,
Okay.
as we're filling the kettle, we hop. Our bittering addition we put in kind of about 3-4 barrels into the kettle.
Uh-huh.
We call it a first wort hop, and it's just anywhere between 160 and 180.
Okay.
And it's just gives you a nice, really nice soft bitterness and a very nice, flavorful, aromatic
Yeah.
pre-boil.
It's super soft, yet it's there. Like you don't. It's not like it's really really nice.
Mhm.
It's a very like dangerously drinkable. What did you say this
Right.
one was at? Like
6.8.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
would sneak up on you in a hurry.
So we sell the crap out of this. They
Yeah.
just I mean it's every week we deliver every week, every Thursday or Friday morning, and
To the Renfest.
to Renfest, and we're surprised that it's gone every week. It's like
Yeah.
all right, cool, empty kegs, empty boxes every week.
yeah, no, good on you.
Y'all
Renfest
sell it.
people.
Y'all sell it to Renfest in a keg.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we do kegs and cans up there.
Okay. Oh, and cans.
Mhm.
Okay.
Do you drive out there and deliver it yourself?
Yeah, either myself or Kinga.
Do you go and like, is it during Renfest or is it during the week?
During the week.
Okay, I was gonna
Yeah.
say if you saw the lady that was wearing like just the chainmail. There's this one lady that we saw that was just chainmail. Probably should have gone a bigger size of chainmail.
No, they did.
It looked like it probably would have been super lovely 5 years ago, but it seems like chainmail's probably expensive or expanding your chain. I'm just saying,
I think chainmail would kind of.
it just reminded me of like waffle fries. or a waffle iron.
Sure.
Something along those lines. She's a lovely lady. Just
kind of keeps everything together.
the Renfest is the most fascinating place for people watching. There's no other place.
It's an amazing spot.
Yes.
It's spectacular. I mean, the people up there are, number one, everyone's super nice.
Yes.
Number two, you get people up there who are really into it, and you get normal people up there. We go up there. We don't dress up.
Do you dress up?
No, I've been there a few years and talking to Alan.
Mm-hmm. And bring it down.
Yeah. I want to get this year. I mean, I'm not gonna be able to go this year. The next time I go, I do want to wear something. I've been,
You've just been going in the butt, like just the leaf. You're like that guy.
What?
You're just the guy in the leaf, just the fig leaf. Oh,
just normal clothes, like you said, normal. Like, I've been. Just
oh,
normal.
you want to dress up?
I want to dress
you
up.
You said, oh, okay.
I
wasn't sure which way you're going. There are some that
we
campsite.
went on Halloween weekend this year. Halloween weekend's great because we wore our Halloween costumes. Nothing Renfest related at all. We were the family, the Incredibles.
Oh, that's cool.
So there's 5 of us, right? There's myself, my wife, 3 kids. So we were the Incredibles.
That's cool.
My dad was here. He was Frozone.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, he's the coolest character.
Yeah.
And then my mother-in-law's here as well, and she was Edna, the one who makes the incredible costumes. It was awesome.
I haven't seen the second one yet. Good.
You're missing out.
Is it good?
Yeah, big time.
Okay. We're I don't know. We're just past. Like we're not past those kind of movies, but it's not must see as much as it used to be. Now it's
because
more
the girls are a little bit older.
They're a little older.
Right.
Like Captain Marvel, though, we're already like ready. That's not till March. Anyway, speaking of superheroes,
Those movies go really well with a nice pint.
yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Because you have to. I mean, you're a little bit older. You need something to enjoy that.
I mean, I enjoy it, even with that. But yeah, like when we drink it at home or watch it at home, drink it.
Yeah. So what do you guys think of this beer as it's warmed up a little bit? It's still, in my opinion, it's actually gets a little better as it warms up a bit. I mean, it's I don't think lagers do that, but since this is an ale, kind of it's a lager it's an ale inspired lager, if you will.
Yes.
As it warms up a bit, it becomes a little maybe bready.
Yeah. It is. There's I actually made some beer bread. I almost made some this morning to bring, but then I was like, I don't want to get up that early. Super simple recipe. I'll even give it to you. Just this guy's you're getting in cooking, right? A little bit.
Yeah.
So, did you ever make the pumpkin pancakes?
No.
Still got time.
I still do. Yeah.
Anyway, beer bread. Super simple. It's like super approachable way to make bread. You don't have to let it rise or anything like that. So I recommend that.
Are you using spent grain for your beer bread?
No, just.
Josh don't have no spent grain.
I haven't homebrewed in a while, let's be honest.
Yeah,
but no, I mean, you could.
You let me know. We have a lot of it sitting around.
Okay.
Every week.
Yeah, and it's not. It's easy to get out of here for sure. I could absolutely do that. But yeah, I have a few recipes. I have one that's just straight like you just use AP flour, and then some that uses whole grain or whole wheat, stone ground whole wheat and AP, and then some you can add some cheese to and stuff like that. But you don't have to let it rise or anything like that. The beer acts as you have baking powder and soda that acts as your leavening agent, and then the beer gives it that yeasty quality. And it's just takes about 5 to 10 minutes to put the batter together, and then let it cook for 40 minutes, and then you got bread.
What beer did you use?
This past one I used some 11 Below Oso Bueno that worked really, really well.
Just like a full can, 12 ounces,
Yep.
or what?
Yep. But something like this would work. I mean, you can go if you want to go light, to get more of a breadier quality. I mean, or you can go dark to get more of that malty, roasty element and darker bread. Just kind of depends.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you got.
Let me know.
I don't know if I would go super, super hoppy.
Ooh, that'd be a weird.
I mean, sometimes it works, but when hops, you don't want to boil hops. Either like cook a hopped, super hop beer. Like you don't want to boil it down. It's not a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
Don't change the beer.
I think it would get weird, right? Might get a little acidic.
Something like that.
A little harsh.
It's very harsh. Yeah. And it's.
How about a stout?
Stouts work great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
I've used stouts for bread pudding, like a chocolate bread pudding. I've used stouts for pancakes. I've used stouts for a lot of stuff. So. Pumpkin bread ale muffins. You can use a pumpkin stout for sure. Put some chocolate chips in there too. Get out of here. What are we talking about? This would be a beer, your beer. Back to this. I love driveway gatherings,
Yes.
just in the neighborhood. This would be one I would want in the driveway, like in the cooler, be like, hey, You want a beer? And this would be like, doesn't matter who the neighbor is,
Mm-hmm.
whether they drink, they're into macro stuff, they don't drink beer that often. This would be one I would say, like, try this. Tell me what you think.
It's a good point because I feel that a lot of, I can't speak for the rest of the country, right? Because we visit a lot of breweries, but we're kind of immersed in the Houston scene. So I feel a lot of us here in Houston in the craft scene are actually starting to make that kind of beer.
Yes.
I think a few years back it was like, okay, if you're a craft brewer, you can't make a light lager.
Mm-hmm.
You're making hardcore IPAs. You're making, enormous stouts. You're making, for some reason, brown ales. I don't understand that. I never will. But
Making them or drinking them or both?
yeah, whatever.
You just don't.
I don't
it's not your
understand. I
deal?
don't understand the style in general. It's just not my thing. But I feel that the Houston beer drinker,
Yeah.
with the extremes in temperature that we have here, from anywhere from 110 to what is it today, like 36.
Yeah, it's chilly. We had snow flurries this morning. Did you see any?
We were driving here and it was snowing. So,
Yeah.
and it's just these beers are just really nice to sit back and have like a few of them.
Yes.
Especially in that summertime heat.
Mm-hmm.
You don't always want to drink a 7.2% double hazy IPA when it's
Yeah.
110 degrees outside. I mean, I do,
Yeah.
but I don't think most people do.
They work. Stouts will also work when it's really hot for some reason. There's certain stouts that'll work when it's super hot and humid, like at night especially.
Yeah.
But it's a weird kind of like counterintuitive thing. But this is like the cut through the heat, and super approachable at the same time. But even for a seasoned beer drink, yeah, it's nuanced. Getting there and like what hops, those noble hops, man. You got to really dig deep and kind of, you got to contemplate life when you taste those, because there's so much history and like, so much to it.
Exactly.
We can't take that stuff for granted.
So I mean, we're trying to bridge that gap, right? I mean, we don't make many clear beers, but we do make some.
I'll keep that from happening. Yes, and you do a great job.
So these are very approachable, very nice beers. I mean, these will compete. In my opinion, they'll compete with any light lager out there. I'd prefer a light lager inspired beer from a local brewery versus anything on the mass market any day.
Yeah. That's the thing. My wife was talking about their Christmas party at her work. She's the manager there. So she was like, "What should we get a keg of beer for the party?" And she's like, I was like, "Well, don't just ask. That's an open-ended question." So then like 20 texts later, like, how many people, how many drink beer, what do they expect? And what are you having to eat? Have fajitas. I'm like, okay. She's like, and she said she mentioned the word Bud Light. I was like, look, listen, I understand. She loves like double IPAs and stuff. So that's not her thing. She's just thinking about everybody else. I'm like, look, you don't want to associate your business with that. Y'all are a craft company. You're in the community. You serve the community. It's the same like approach here. It's like you take so much pride in what you do. Don't go low rent. Let's work this out. Even if they don't drink good beer, they deserve good beer. Even if they don't know it.
Yeah.
So like these, like if that's what you're used to, a light, crisp beer, this should blow your mind.
And there's a number of us in town doing that, and
Yeah.
there's a number of us throughout the state doing that, and I think probably throughout the country, a lot of breweries are starting to make those beers. Number one, because they're really cheap to make. Number two, you get people in your tap room who would never come to your tap room because you have something that's approachable.
Yeah. And when you say cheap, it's inexpensive. The effort is not. It's not like it's not an easier process.
No, the process is the same. It's just
Yeah.
a matter of the ingredients that go into these beers
Right.
is much cheaper than, say, like a double hazy IPA.
Or it just needs a lot more.
Right. But like a smash beer with like just Pilsner malt and a single, whatever your hop, that, it's not cheap on flavor for sure. There's so much, like, to me, those are the most interesting beers sometimes, because it's like, wow, all this came from single type of malt, and, this brewer did it one way and this brewer did it another way, using even the same hops, but they used like a little different water chemistry or a little different approach or whatever. So, you did first wort hopping and they did dry hopping, and it's like, whoa, to me, I like getting into
Well, and
that.
they're so simple, but the thing is, they're not easier to make.
Yeah.
They're cheaper to make, but they're not easier to make.
Mhm.
The thing is, with these beers, they're so simple and they're so they're almost delicate,
Mhm.
because if you screw it up, it's very evident.
Yeah.
You can't hide it behind 10 pounds of Galaxy hops.
Yeah. You have to be
It's
light.
not hidden. There's nothing.
You have to be light on your feet.
exactly.
You've worked that jab, Mike.
There's no curtain. There's no haze. It's all out there.
Yeah,
For the public to see and taste and smell and everything else.
You have to be more Nick Diaz than Derek Lewis. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like
Bowls of sweat.
Yeah, balls were hot. You know who Derek Lewis is?
No, I have no idea.
UFC fighter, just fought for the heavyweight champion from Houston.
I don't know.
Not a big UFC fan.
I don't mind watching it, to be honest with you, but I'm so busy out here.
Yeah.
We are so busy. I couldn't tell you anything about what's going on in the world besides this.
What about your Indians?
Yeah, well, that's over now. So
That's true.
Now I'm back to being busy.
I'm really missing baseball. This was a great season, other than the fact that we lost, but it was a great season.
It was great.
Marcus is an Indians fan.
Okay.
From the Cleveland. You're from Cleveland or just in the area? You're from
Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah, but a Cleveland sports fan in general.
So Blue Jackets are your team?
I like the Jackets.
They won last night. They beat the
Did they?
They beat the Stars.
We used to go to tons of Jackets games.
That was
back in the old days.
It was a fun game. It was chippy. You got Chippy there. What's the captain for the Stars?
Ben?
Yeah, Jamie Ben. They got in a fight. It was really good.
Nice.
It was like one of those they played each other like 2 weeks ago in Columbus, and then now they were in Dallas last night. And I'm not a huge hockey fan, so if I sound ignorant while I'm talking about it, I watched the game. But they were like, they kind of knew they were going to. So this was like in the first like 3 or 4 minutes, and everybody's like,
the game?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And they're like, yeah, we know we need to get this. They were like, we got to get this done. Exactly. So they had, you could see they kind of were jawing each other within like the first like 2 minutes. And Jamie Benn, because he's very businesslike in his approach, he's like, wait a minute, wait till the next, he's like, we'll fight, but you wait, because they clipped him on like towards the end of the game last time. They just laid him out. So it's like, I owe you an ass whooping, but give it a second. So then they did it, and then he's like, they threw their gloves off, dropped their sticks and all that stuff, and he kind of circled back around right in front of the benches so everybody could watch. Like, now we're taking care of it, like right in front of the Dallas bench. Like, now I'm going to whoop your ass in front of my boys. And it was great. It's just it's a great. I love that sport. It doesn't get the love that it deserves.
Yeah,
it's a fun sport to watch.
Down here, at least.
I think in general. I don't know what it is. It's like
I think it does. Just different parts of the country.
Maybe. Well, with the fans that are into it.
Well, the further north you go, obviously.
Yeah,
it's there.
But if you're into it, you're into it.
Right.
There's no like. I don't think there's any real like fence set, like casual fans.
It's a bit hard down here because we don't have a team. We don't even have a minor league team. I don't even know if we have a rink that plays amateur hockey down here. I know we used to in Sugar Land, but I couldn't tell you if it's still here.
I know we have a rink, the Aerodrome.
That's on 249.
Yeah.
You can go play there or at the Galleria. There's some pickup games at the Galleria, maybe.
Yeah, right. Yeah, pickup games. I mean, it's not. No offense, but it's not quite the same.
Correct. Not quite. Slightly less. Whatever, but. Yeah, we used to have the Arrows before they left town. They gone. They had talked about bringing a team here back in the day. What was not Drayton McClain? What was the owner of the Rockets that just sold before Fertitta? Huh?
Oh, the Rockets.
Yeah, who the owner? Les Alexander. He had talked about bringing a team down here in the '90s. He wanted to get Edmonton. Edmonton was looking to leave.
Edmonton.
So we'd have the Houston Oilers back, which would have been badass.
I would have loved it.
But they denied it.
Well, Toyota Center's set up for hockey, right? I mean, it's got all the refrigeration in place. So, hey,
I know.
I'm all about it.
I want one.
There's rumors.
I want one.
They even talked about it in that pregame last night.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit. And they were like, until Houston gets a team, this will be our only trip to Texas, which is a shame because Dallas is the worst part of Texas.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
I mean, it is.
I like Dallas.
Dallas is fine. It's still Texas, but it's no Houston.
True.
Right.
It's snowy today.
It is, right?
I have no opinion. I've never been to Dallas. I have no idea.
No, Dallas is good.
Dallas is fine.
I love the city, Dallas.
Do you? You love it? You love it?
I do. I enjoy I'm going there here December 20th, going to a Chicago Blackhawks. They'll be in Dallas.
Yeah.
It's on Thursday.
Okay. You're going there for something we don't have here.
True.
But
I feel there's beer up there, though, right?
There is beer. There's some good beer, too.
We will be probably...
And let me say, I'm just talking about Dallas proper. Fort Worth is great. Some of the outlying areas are great. Dallas itself, there's the Dallas kind of the way
I'm just not into their sports teams, but I like
horrible.
the city.
Sports teams are horrible.
I like the city.
Horrible.
I don't like the teams.
Sorry, Dallas listeners. Horrible. No, that's just from a Houstonian. Now, I don't know. There's something about like in the city of Dallas, even they'll acknowledge it. It's just the vibe is different. Like, what do you drive?
I don't know.
And what clothes what brand clothes are you wearing? That's kind of Dallas's deal. But so they do have some good beers up there.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of beer.
Speaking of beer,
Houston beer,
these glasses are empty. Should
Yeah,
we,
let's do another one.
We should.
should we refill?
What do we got? Okay, what do we got?
So
left?
I think we should probably start with the Hazy Pale. So we should start out with Eugenia. Eugenia.
Yeah.
UWE Genia. Okay, so we're Baa Baa Brewhouse. There's a sheep on the label.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys post pictures up on your site?
Yeah.
I should give you take these labels with you when you go.
Okay.
So listeners can understand why we named this Eugenia and Ram Aldo.
Okay.
Otherwise, they're kind of just like names out of the hat from random as hell. So this is Hazy Pale Ale, 5.9%. I'll let you go ahead and take care of duty if you want.
Absolutely.
This is a Citra Galaxy, and it's focused on an experimental hop called Brew One.
Brew One.
Mm-hmm.
That's like X-Men or something like.
Or the Force, and there's something Star Wars X1 or something. What's it?
Maybe something that's not even like. We don't even have a name yet. That's how they start.
It's got a name. Previously it had a number, but it has a name now. But it's not an extremely commercial hop, if you will. It's very popular in the homebrew community, and it's for large brewers. It's very difficult to get. So it's
I like that.
It's not that it's not popular. It's just that
What's the actual name? Is it the actual name is?
Yeah, it's Brew One.
Brew
it's
One?
BRU 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is
So
there going to be a Brew 2?
I have no idea.
A 2 Brew 2?
But I'm curious what you guys get out of this beer. So I get a lot of things out of this beer. I'm curious what you guys are,
Okay.
what you're feeling here.
Now, I want to give you an honest answer, but if you can hear my sniffles, I may not get
Which you sound fine, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a little rough couple of days.
Yeah, you sound fine.
I used my. You ever do that nasal rinse? That is. You should do that if you got like a cold.
I don't like things in the nose.
Well, this gets all the stuff out of your nose. Anyway, okay. So aroma. Well, I'm getting. Smells like an orange and a grapefruit had a child.
Mm-hmm.
And that baby was. You got the zest of that baby zest.
Right. Okay, good. So you got the zest. Excellent. So that's exactly what I was hoping you would say.
Really?
We did not have this discussion off the air, just so you know. But
I hope he says orange grapefruit baby zest.
Exactly. So orange grapefruit baby zest. That's what I was thinking exactly. No, for real. We made this beer. We didn't really know what to expect. It's a different yeast than we've ever used. I can't share that with you today, unfortunately.
Top secret. I like that.
That's top secret. But what I can say is it's different than we've ever used before.
Really?
We've also never used Brew One in an IPA or a pale ale. So this is a pale ale. So it's hazy, but it should be light. Kind of has that like really maybe apparent dryness to it. You're not going to get a lot of sweetness out of this. A little bit, but not overly sweet, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty well fermented out, pretty dry. Mm-hmm. But you should get kind of the zest of a grapefruit is kind of what we were going for here. And I think we somewhat achieved that.
It smells different than what it tastes. It doesn't taste the citrusy, which I appreciate. That's good.
You mean like we're talking about like the bite of the citrus bite?
Right. Yeah. It's
super dry.
It's so smooth.
Mm-hmm. So keep in mind where the flavor comes from in these beers, and then where the aroma comes from. So the aroma is coming predominantly from the dry hop.
Okay.
And then the flavor is predominantly coming from the hop additions on the hot side of the process. So in the boil kettle.
Right.
We vary that dry hop in all these beers. So every beer we try to kind of match the aroma with the flavor, if you will. It's not always easy. And having never used this yeast before, we didn't really know what was going to happen once we put this beer in a can. So I can tell you this: when the beer was fresh, the beer's a week and a half old. It's not out of date by any means, not expired by any means. Right. But when it was straight out of a fermenter, after dry hopping, it's like, wow, man, okay, it's totally citrusy. It's a little bit bitter, but not like IPA bitter, not West Coast IPA bitter. It's more like grapefruity or grapefruit zest type bitter. Now the beer's been in a can for a week and a half. It's changed a lot, and it's almost changed. I think for the better, to be honest with you. But you're right. I think that the nose and the flavor are a little bit mismatched, slightly mismatched. Yes. We're not claiming to make perfect beer. Okay, so
that is good.
You guys 21 Pilots fans?
I like them.
Huh?
Yeah.
21 Pilots fans.
Who's
band.
I thought that was a new experimental hop.
So it's a
Music.
It's a band, right?
What,
So
what do they play?
they-
What do they do?
good stuff. You should check it out.
Okay.
On the way home. We'll-
Check it out.
Yeah.
So there's a song on there called Lane Boy. It's on their first big release, and it's an amazing song. Totally punk rock song, right?
Yeah.
They're not punk rockers, but it's a totally amazing punk rock song.
Okay. I like punk rock.
And there's a line in there that says, "Never trust a perfect person." So I like that because
Yeah.
I would never trust a perfect beer.
Yeah.
Because I feel that a perfect person and a perfect beer have the same qualities. There's
Yeah.
always something behind the scenes that makes
Yeah.
it appear perfect,
Yeah.
but there's something totally messed up in the background
Yeah.
that makes you just want to walk away.
The more perfect the persona up front, the more twisted and dark it is in
On
secret.
the back. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So we don't claim to make perfect beer
Yeah.
because we claim to be normal people
Yeah.
who make normal beer. We just try to do it exceptionally well, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
What is the ABV on this one?
5.9.
I like it. Now I say dry, but and I'm guessing it. Fermentation is a however much it it dries it out, right? As far as residual sugars and whatnot. But there's a quality where it makes you like. I guess is that part of the dryness where maybe that's a hop thing going on with the like on my tongue. Like
Well, tell me more. What are you feeling there?
Well, it's almost like it pulls the moisture off my tongue or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like overly. It's not like when you have antiperspirant on your finger and accidentally put your finger in. It's not like that. You've never done that? Am I alone on that one?
No. So you're saying it's almost like puckering.
A little
like,
bit.
Like when you bite into a grapefruit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's the fruitiness quality of this beer. I think it's the kind of the puckering or the slight bitterness caused by the fruitiness.
Yeah.
I will say there's no fruit in this beer. No proper fruit. It's all hops.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Wow.
It makes me put my pinky out a little bit. Maybe it's just glasses. I think it's the glasses, like automatically pinky out.
There's no space for your pinky.
Have to be proper.
No, wait a minute.
Not perfect, but
your
proper.
your pinky was not out on these other two beers.
Was it not? Maybe it's
these,
just maybe it's the grape. The
On these lager inspired beers, your pinky was down. I checked it out.
maybe I get more proper as I drink more beer. Like I'm proper. I get into that proper state of mind. I don't know. It's delicious though. I'll admit when it comes to when you're talking about like clarity and things like that, we're at two-way different ends of the spectrum, which is a testament to your talent as a brewer. You're hitting it on both ends and doing it really, really well.
So people used to tell us that, hey, if you can make a hazy IPA, it means you're a shitty brewer. Anybody can make a hazy beer.
Yeah.
I can tell you one thing. Getting that haze is easy, but keeping that haze is a completely different story. There's a technique to that. And again, it's one of those things I can't really divulge. It's something we do here that we like to keep
Are you
secret.
saying your perfect haze has like a crazy, like sinister background, like witchcraft or something along those lines? Is that how you keep your haze?
Yeah. I mean, it's right up there with witchcraft, to be honest with you. Now, we're not the only ones doing this, okay? I mean, there's a ton of breweries doing this, and there are a ton of breweries doing this, I would say, well.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few that do it perfectly.
Yeah.
We're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you guys. We're working on it. I mean, we're evolving. If anyone else ever tells you that we're perfect, that's far from the truth.
Yeah.
But we are evolving for sure.
And perfection is one of those things you can maybe hit it for a second, but then everything continues to change around it, and it's no longer. Perfection is like a momentary thing at best.
That's right. Exactly.
Like even like a GABF platinum medal, if that was even a thing. In that moment with those people at that time for that style, you got it right in that little space. But everybody's palates continue to change, trends change, whatever is going on with the grains and the hops being grown, like whatever, yeast evolve. I'm just saying, perfection is.
No, you hit on something very key though, because I feel that a lot of so across the country, people are doing hazy IPAs, hazy pale ales, hazy double IPAs.
not as good as Houston.
And Houston has some very good ones. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
for sure.
And we were talking about this on the way. You are in that tip of the spear haze.
I feel we're part of the scene for sure.
Yeah.
We've been gone for a little while because we've been under construction, but I feel that we're slowly making a comeback. And it's not that we were down; it's just that we were completely out because we didn't have equipment in here.
It was halftime.
It was a big, long halftime,
Yeah.
exactly.
Or intermission. We'll go back to intermission.
Yeah, hockey term, intermission.
So we're working our way back in, and I'm really happy about it. But there are people out there doing these beers really well in Houston, across the country.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was saying was I think that perfect beer has a lot to do with the atmosphere in which you're drinking that perfect beer.
Mm-hmm.
You can drink a beer in the tap room. You're in the moment, drinking that beer. Maybe you had a few, and that at that time it's a perfect beer.
Yeah.
You take that beer home and you're watching it, watching a horror flick on the couch
Yeah.
by yourself
Mhm.
at midnight.
Yeah.
You drink that beer and you might dump it down the drain. Might not be perfect anymore.
That's true. And I've
It's
done
the
that.
exact same beer.
That's a like sometimes I'll do like at the end of the day, I've already had too many beers, too much to eat, I'm too tired. I think your palate and your mouth and just kind of like all your senses get tired as your body gets tired. I think it's all tied together. And there's a lot of times where I'm like, oh, I can't wait to try this beer, and you kind of force it because it's like, oh, it's my Saturday. Tomorrow we got to get the kids ready for school. I'm not going to be able to have as many or at all. She was like, I got to get it in while I can. And like for a sip or two, you're like, yeah, this is pretty good. But then you got like a whole,
Workload.
yeah, well, yeah, it's a whole, like the workload is the whole bottle you're supposed to, because you don't want to waste it. But man, it just is not as,
It's a good analogy.
it's not enjoyable.
No,
you
but I
gotta-
mean, this is something good about these beers, right? So we put these in 16-ounce cans for a reason.
Mhm.
So there's more than just having a pint of beer in a can, right? We're doing, and I feel that everyone's doing the same thing, right? So 16-ounce cans are the thing for this style of beer. But a 16-ounce can forces you to share that beer with somebody.
yeah,
It's really difficult to drink one of these beers. Or, I mean, honestly, like on a Monday night,
Mhm.
you're drinking a 16-ounce beer, great, but it's your only one. If you want to have 2 or 3, you better share that with somebody.
yes.
So this style, I feel, is meant to be shared.
Yeah, no, that, agreed, and that's I think that's an important thing, like especially as we get. How old are you? I don't know. I'm 38.
I'm right up there.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if it's just getting older, or if it's just because the beers have morphed and motivations have changed or whatever. But there's only so much time and so many, that you have, and I'm talking about capacity within like chronological time or, liver time or whatever. It's like my
liver time.
my capacity to be able to have a beer. Like I can't get altered in any way, shape, or form because I've got these responsibilities. But there's this much beer that will, and it's maybe it's 8.5 ounces or 9 ounces. Luckily, I've got a 6-ounce drinking wife or whatever, to like even it out. So yeah, it's that you want to share it for sure, and my wife loves hoppy beers,
Nice.
so that's fun. It's a bonding.
No, we're in the same boat. I mean, so Monday night seems to be my night to come home and just be like, wow, man, long weekend, long day at work.
Yeah.
Not bad by any means, but just long day. I need a beer.
Yeah.
And Monday nights are usually like, if we have work planned, forget about it. It's like 2 or 3 IPAs, and we're like, cool,
Yeah.
I'm going to watch a movie now.
Yeah.
But we like to share them, and we do share them, and it's a very social experience. And it's we are actually trying, we put these beers out there to be shared.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to drink one by yourself.
Yeah. But that's the thing, man. Beers, their very nature is social. When you think about how it's made and how it's produced, that's a social thing. To drink it by yourself is almost like, oh, you're taking it out of its rhythm.
Yeah.
Because you got hop farmers. Hop farmers are way different than grain farmers, wheat farmers, whoever, versus brewers, versus, the taproom workers, versus everybody involved, wherever you, like maybe you got it at a bar or a grocery store or whatever. That's a community of people that get you your beer to you, and they all have to work the government, they're part of that community too. They're kind of that like, who told them that we were going to be here? Who told them? How do they always know? We had one of those guys in high school. Nobody would ever tell him like where we were going, but he'd always show up. I don't know how it happened. He always knew. Is phone ringing? Is that here?
Phone's ringing.
I think it's the Baa Baa landline.
Oh, hotline, Baa Baa hotline.
I'll let the machine catch that one.
Okay. Y'all have a machine, like an actual machine,
Yeah, of course.
like with tapes, those little mini tapes.
No tapes. It's all electronic now. It's not the 80s, man.
Y'all are kicking it old school. Trying to,
So how many you got on tap here? Different
So
beers.
we're installing 20 taps
20?
in the tap room. So
wow.
over here in this nice wall that's unfinished drywall at the moment, we're installing 20 taps over there.
Because the cold room's right through this door, right?
keep asking.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab my coat.
Cold room's there. Cold room is 14 feet long, so it basically goes from the door you're seeing here all the way to the edge of the building, and then it's 13 feet deep.
20 taps?
Yes, we'll throw 20 taps in. I'm not saying we'll have 20 beers initially. Eventually, we will have 20 beers.
Oh, wow.
But for now, we're going to install the taps, and we had a private party this weekend out here. We had 6 beers on tap, and we had probably could have put one more if we wanted to. So
are there taps on there now?
No, not now.
Oh, okay.
Not now. We have them. We're gonna install them as soon as the wall's finished. We'll install them through the cold room wall there.
Okay.
So we're looking at 20 taps. Like I said, not guaranteeing 20 beers, but we'll probably start with 6 to 10, and just keep growing from there.
Okay.
The plan is to grow this business. The plan is to hopefully by this late this spring or this summer to be going at this full time. I would love nothing more than have some barrels in here, doing some big stouts, doing some. Can't really do sour beers in here. The place is too small. Probably infect the whole lot of beers. But we're moving into that space where it's like time to seriously make a lot of beer.
Yeah. Well, you've been making a lot of variety. When you go look at your website and just kind of look at all the beers you've had, it's like, whoa, it just keeps going. It's like load more, load more, load more. It's like, how many has he done? A lot. Do you know how many you've done overall?
I'm not sure. To be honest with you, I've not counted, but I think we're probably maybe like 75 different beers.
That's a
across, across 2 years, and 3 or 4 of those have stayed the same. So
Yeah.
it's mostly in the IPAs, IPA space.
So how many do you plan on keeping? Like a year-round type thing.
That's an awesome question.
Plan. I know plans can change.
Yeah, so we don't really make plans. As you can see, we just kind of no. I'm kidding. We do fly a little bit by the seat of our pants.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
Fair enough.
But we do plan at some level, and what that planning is telling us to do, and what the public is telling us to do, is go back and make your old beers again. So we're planning a release in March. We did a release last March with Chris at Laser Brewing and Larry Kessler. You guys know Larry, the beer journalist. We did a beer with those 2 guys last year called Group High Five, and we're planning to do a kind of start going back and doing some of our old beers with that. So the very first Hazy IPA, it's written down. I didn't make this up. Okay, so Larry wrote the article. It's called Cow Jumped Over the Moon. I guess that was the first Hazy IPA released in Houston.
I remember that one.
That was epic. It was insane. I mean, that was the first time we actually had real lines out here. We had people, we had chaos.
Yeah.
It was chaos. We filled like hundreds of growlers. We sold 3 barrels of beer in 3 hours.
Wow.
It was insane. We had a couple guys behind the bar. So we're actually planning on doing Group High Five and Cow Jumped Over the Moon together in March. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start working our way back through the old beers again. So from Cow Jumped Over the Moon to Cat and the Fiddle to Hey Diddle Diddle to, all these things. I mean, there's such a library of beers. And in those days, we really didn't know how to make this style like we know how to make this style now. So there'll be some improvement along the way. So lessons learned applied to new beers with the same old name, but made in the same spirit. So however many are out there, we're going to make them again.
But no brown ales.
No brown ales. Jesus Christ, no brown ales.
Not even like a hazy brown ale? Like a hazy hoppy brown ale?
No. Dude, the day I make a brown ale is the day the door closes in this place. Our last beer ever will be a brown ale.
Okay.
If that day ever comes.
Okay,
I hope that day never comes.
Hopefully no brown ales.
No. If you see a brown ale here, that means we're on the way out.
Okay.
It means we're closing the doors.
So then we don't want to see a brown ale out here.
No.
No.
I mean, I have a recipe where you can use them for sweet potato fries. You soak the sweet potatoes in brown ale.
Also, the SS, the system you got over here.
Yeah.
I see the jackets.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about those.
Mike always gets a little.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the pilot system, right?
Yeah.
So
Excited about that.
So what we're working with here is we've got the rest of the systems over here to your right. That's a Blickman 1-barrel electric pilot system, effectively. It's a 2-vessel electric pilot system. So this little fermenter you're looking at over here, we've got a few of those, and it's got a black neoprene jacket on it, and that's just insulation. And we run glycol inside of that jacket to keep the fermentation temperature correct.
What
so
you need, right?
Yeah, so that's the pilot system.
So this is all electric too over here?
This is propane.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all propane.
So let me ask you this: electric versus gas. What do you prefer? What are the benefits on each? Is there any downside on each? Let's talk.
So there's really 3 ways to do this, right? You have you've got a gas-fired kettle, or I guess like a flame-fired kettle. So you can do. In the old days, they would do coal or do wood. We use propane now. It's easier.
Okay. Yep.
You can do a steam-fired kettle, and you can do electric-fired kettles. So ask any brewer; they'll tell you that steam-fired is the way to go.
Okay.
It's gentle.
It's like a double boiler, like if you're doing cooking, like you have the.
Effectively, so you have a kettle that's jacketed just like your fermenters, but instead of circulating cold glycol, you're circulating hot steam. So you're basically gently heating the beer. You're not scorching it in any way, shape, or form. And if you're going to any big brew house, anything bigger than 10 barrels, usually you're looking at steam fired. So if you go to like a, God forsake, you go to like a Anheuser-Busch owned brewery in town, and they have a 30 barrel or 60 barrel kettle, you're looking at steam fired.
Okay.
A lot of breweries you're looking at steam fired brew houses. We do a flame fired, so a propane fired kettle.
Okay.
We could have done electric here, and if you go to the UK, a lot of kettles there are up to 10 barrels are electric fired.
Okay.
It's just not really economic here. It's not commonplace.
Okay.
Natural gas is
plentiful.
abundance here.
Yeah. Not so much in the UK.
Yeah, not so much there. So for us, it's efficiency. It's all about availability of a commodity, which happens to be natural gas propane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now brewing, like as far as I guess electric would take a little bit longer to heat up, or
Nope,
no?
it's super fast.
Is it?
Electric is awesome.
It's gotten a lot better, I guess, in the last few years. Like
We played with it. We thought about converting this to electric. This whole new
Really?
new 7 barrel. We actually asked the questions to the manufacturer, Bennett Forge Works out of Colorado.
Cool.
We said, hey guys, let's do it electric, and they said, well, we don't really do that.
Yeah.
We can do it for you, but we don't really do that. So we're not really sure kind of how to go about that. So we said, you know what, let's just stick with what you know. Let's do it best. And this kettle's amazing, man. It boils in about 35-40 minutes.
Wow.
Which compared to our old 2.5 barrel system was about 3 hours to boil, which was Jesus, man. So it's a very efficient system. The pilot system's electric. It's just easier.
Yeah.
It's easier. It's cleaner. It's safer, and it's 50 gallons of wort, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Mike makes fun of me for not homebrewing in a little while.
I don't make fun of you.
You do too, to be honest. It's been a little while since I've homebrewed, let's be honest. Beer, even more, right?
Yeah.
I homebrewed some coffee this morning for you.
It's delicious. Thank you.
I'm glad you like it. But didn't roast it myself. I kind of want to get into that. But probably going to go all electric, when I do that, So I'm curious. But sounds good.
It's just what you can afford. Honestly, it comes down to what you can afford, what you can do, what you can pull off. Installing electricity is very expensive. We found out that the hard way. We just installed all new electrical in the building here, and it was not cheap.
So is it 240 for everything, or like?
Depends.
Yeah.
Depends on the application.
Like for a system like your Blickman system, is that like the
Yeah,
base and everything is all the Blickman?
Yes, that's all 240 stuff. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all kind of higher voltage.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I don't even know. See, I haven't even started. Like, I know I want to build a brew shed in my backyard. I know I want it to be. I'm thinking electric.
Yeah.
After that,
electric is the way to go on a small scale. It's cleaner.
Okay.
Carrying around propane tanks and everything else is just a pain in the ass. So this is very clean. It's very easy. It boils really quickly. It's amazing.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. You sold me.
Yeah, we got one more beer.
We do.
You guys
Yes.
interested?
Yes.
Yes.
Let you do your magic.
Hold it to the mic, Mike. Let them get that magic in there.
Oh man, that's heavenly. Okay, so this is Ramaldo.
Ramaldo.
Some people call it Ramaldo. I like to emphasize the Ram.
Ramaldo.
This is a hazy double IPA, 6.9%. This is a Citra Galaxy, but it's focused on Amarillo.
Okay.
So you might notice this beer is a little bit different than the Eugenia, in the fact that it's a double IPA. Well, I'll just let the beer speak for itself. To be honest with you, let's.
Okay. Stick my nose in here. Okay. Aroma is different.
Now it's been on the table for about 40 minutes. But it's quite.
I was going to say
chilly today. Okay, so
probably hasn't warmed up all that much.
But with this style, I definitely recommend letting it warm up a bit. So when the beer is super cold, you don't really catch all of the essence of the hop aroma, and maybe even miss some of the flavor. I feel that the coldness kind of subdues the flavor and the aroma, I would say, significantly. So it's nice that it's probably about 45, 50 degrees in the glass. But it's definitely so Amarillo, right? Amarillo is a West Coast IPA hop, so we took a gamble at this one because
I would say almost a little like pine, like light, like and maybe it's because I heard you say West Coast. It automatically sparked in my mind that it's supposed to be a little piney or dank, you know.
But you should get there's a little bit more body in this beer. It's a touch sweeter. And what I'll tell you is that the nose on this is way different than Eugenia, and the finish on this is extremely different.
Yes,
the finish is a bit sweet, but it's also I would say moderately to very citrusy on the finish. So like right on the back of your tongue, like even as it goes down your throat, you should get like some pretty dank, like if dank citrus is the right word. This beer's a bit more dank than
dank. Yeah, it's a good dank. And then, almost like you know, sometimes when you peel into an orange and you get that mist in your face, like in your eye a little bit. It's like that on your tongue, like a little bit of not bite, but like, you know, like it's not supposed to be in your eye.
So yeah, and you're getting a little bit of bitterness on this beer too. I mean, we did that intentionally. I mean, this is you get a slight bitterness up front. Kind of feel that slight bitterness is missing from a lot of these beers. I think a lot of beers in this style are like, hey, I'm going to avoid all bitterness. And I feel that as those beers age, they lose all character. But if you put a little bit of touch of bitterness into it, I feel it balances the style out a bit, balances the beer out a little bit.
Yeah.
You might also notice that we've gone away from that term, New England IPA. We've completely abandoned that term, and we will continue to abandon that term in this brewery.
So it's just called a double.
So we're calling
Hazy.
this a hazy,
Hazy
or juicy double IPA. It doesn't say it on the can. There's not room for all that on the can, so we just call it hazy.
Hazy, yeah.
We call it hazy on the
Same
can, but the actual style now is hazy or juicy double IPA.
That's that's official style, right?
That's official now.
Yeah.
So we've decided to brew to style.
Yeah. I like it.
Well, I'll tell you what we felt is that the term New England IPA really put us in a box. Really put us in a very small box of, hey, this is what a New England IPA tastes like. This is what you have to make it taste like. It has to look like this. It has to be these things. It has to be carbonated this level. It has to be blah, blah, blah. You get the point. But it's an extremely small arena to play in. And there's just way too many hops out there and way too many variations on the style to be put in that little box.
Yeah, this has a fresh hop, like when you first pop open that hop packet when you're
right. It's like a fresh bag of pelletized hop right in your face.
That's it.
Exactly.
That's what that is. It took me a minute to, I guess, because it's been so long since I've homebrewed.
And those Amarillo hops really bring out like a very unique aroma in this beer. I mean, it's really unique on the nose.
I love that. That's like,
good.
when we're brewing, like make my daughter like smell that. Like, yeah. Okay,
And you know, the thing is, like, this is not a beer for everybody. So I've got my favorites. We all have our favorites. And to be honest with you, sometimes we get a beer from one of my favorites, and I'm like, what is this beer? What happened? Yeah, I love you guys, but this beer sucks. So these beers are not for everybody.
Right.
And so we sold this past weekend, we sold 104 packs of these beers. And that was the goal. Those are the folks who sponsored our new fermenter. There were 100 people, $100 each, and because of that, they got a 4-pack of each one of those last 2 IPAs. And you know what? The reviews are 3/4 excellent, and 1/4 is like, you know, it's good. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
I recognize that, you know, we get the feeling, right? I recognize that it's quality product, but it's not for me.
Yeah.
And that's great.
And that's okay, yes.
You know what?
It's great.
That says a lot about your clientele, that they're able to recognize something that's made how it's supposed to be made, but it's just not for me.
And that's okay.
Yeah, no, and that's great, actually.
Totally okay.
Yeah, it's to me that's more promising than somebody that just says, you know, tastes like an IPA, hate IPAs, 1 star or what. You know, it's like you get those people that are like, hated this beer. Do you like IPAs? No, I hate IPAs. Well, it's an IPA. What were you thinking? You know, it takes a, it doesn't take a beer like a Cicero, like level 7 Cicerone, Jedi level Cicerone, to understand that if you don't like IPAs, you're not going to enjoy an IPA.
Right.
So keep that in mind when you're looking to try a new beer. Because sometimes people get caught up in the hype. Because it's fun. It's fun to be caught up in hype. Like when there's, if you hang out with a bunch of hazy IPA lovers, but you're not one, but they're all like, dude, this beer's going to be awesome, can't wait. And they're super stoked, and they try it, and it's like everything they thought it was going to be. But you're that one guy in the group that's like, I don't really like IPAs. But yeah, you have to keep, it's like.
Right, but if you're listening out there and you are that guy, just stop going out there and giving 1 stars to those beers. Like, the thing is, like, rating systems for anything are completely, in my mind, a little bit outdated, right?
Sure.
This is like, I would say, a thing of like the 90s, late 90s, maybe early 2000s. Like, let's go rate everything. Yeah. And let's promote this business by giving it 5 stars. Right? Yeah. But man, rating beers is it's just so, I don't know how to put this, interesting.
I've never done it.
We see reviews of our beers, of other beers, and it's like, hey, 1 star, I hate IPAs. Like you said, I'm like, okay, 1 star, I hate IPAs. Why did you buy an IPA? Yeah. And then the crazy thing is that all these things are public. So you click on that guy. Let's use Untapped as an example. Yeah. You click on the guy's profile. It's like, cool, 5 stars to every blonde ale I've ever had. 5 stars to every light lager I've ever had. 5 stars to every
you just discredit
whatever.
him, yeah.
And it's like, cool. I love a one star for stouts, 1 star for IPAs, and a 1/4 star for hazy IPAs. I'm like, okay, so why do you buy them? Yeah. Like what? If
and
you do buy them, like, dude, just relax. Don't bring down the scene because you don't like it. Yeah. And that's one of my pet peeves. It really is a big one of mine. Is like, those online rating systems, they really kill small guys like us. We'd be lucky to get 50 ratings out of this whole release. 50. And if there's 2 people out there like that, that'll bring our rating down from a 4.25 to a 4.01. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the beautiful thing about the internet that allows everybody to have a voice, but at the same time, everybody's got a voice.
Hey, I'm all about free speech. Okay, I'm all about that. But at the same time, like, you got to be reasonable.
Yeah, if you're going to throw your speech out there, well, let's qualify your speech real quick.
If you know you're going to hate it, number one, try it. Yeah. But, be realistic on the rating.
But I think people need to be equally as ready. If you're going to throw your opinion out there, I'm going to scrutinize your opinion. I'm not going to take your opinion. Like when I go to Amazon on any product and I see the reviews, I look at the super negative reviews, and half the time I'm like, they sent me the box and it was crushed. 1 star. Well, that doesn't say anything about the thing
product.
You were buying.
It's not even their fault.
Yeah, exactly. So why that gets me, and then the whole when they ask the questions, like, I don't know anything about that. Why even take the time to answer to write that, type that out? It's the same thing. It's like a weird, I don't know. People just don't understand the internet. There's a whole bunch of people that don't understand, or just, I don't know, man. It's like, come on, life is too short. Just stick to your wheelhouse.
It's just about, so with a fresh product like beer, or with any fresh product that you're rating online, it's all about, you have to separate what you think about the beer versus what was the beer intended for, and what's the quality of that product, right? So I feel a lot of those people are rating based on their preference, which is totally fine. Yeah. I get it. But you can't rate on your preference. You have to rate to style. Yeah. And that's where you have to separate your personal feelings from what was the beer supposed to be, what does it taste like. I don't care if you don't like it. Yeah. Is it to style or is it not? Yeah, because there's some value in somebody that's not a hazy IPA fan going in and saying, I'm not a huge fan of these beers, but, they hit this, and this. Even though I'm not a fan of this, and this, they hit all of those things. Exactly. So if you're a hazy IPA fan from somebody who doesn't like hazy IPAs, you'll most likely enjoy the hell out of this beer. But with that said, I love taking folks who hate IPAs. I love taking those. I mean, there's so many people out there who hate IPAs. I love serving them up in IPA, and they're like, wow, man, that's so good. What is that? I'm like, that's an IPA. Like, no, man, I hate IPAs. I'll take another one. I'm like, I love when that happens. Yeah. I love it. But also understand that as a consumer, that when you go to a brewery and someone serves you something that you don't like, or that you specifically said you do not want, it is super annoying. we're consumers as well, right? We go to breweries, and
Yep.
there was back to brown ales. Okay, I was at a brewery in Colorado over GABF. I'm not going to throw the name out there. It's not that important. But I walked in there and we're like, cool. They had 8 beers on tap. Great. We'll take a flight. Take 6 beers. He said, oh, you should try our brown ale. I'm like, dude. We had the conversation. Okay, we've already had the conversation. Dude, I don't like them. It's not my thing. Please don't serve that to me. So you know what he did? I went to the restroom and I came back and there's a brown ale on the counter. And Kinga's like, Kinga, my wife, co-owner of Baa Baa Brew, she's like, hey, you have to try this. He's being nice. You got to try it. I'm like, damn it, I don't want to try it. I don't like how it looks. I don't like how it smells. I promise you, I'm not going to like how it tastes.
Was there a guy like back in school named Brown Ale or something? That
I don't know. I just
shove
don't
you
like
into
it,
a
man.
locker
It's
or
not my thing. So I out of courtesy, I tried the beer. I set it on the bar, and we left. So there's something to be said about converting people versus being annoying behind the bar. So there's a fine line between converting people to IPAs who say they don't like IPAs. You have to be able to read that personality as a server, bartender, brewer, whatever. You got to be able to read that personality and be like, hey, look, I can serve this person an IPA because they're not going to get mad if I serve it to them. But that guy over there, he'll get mad if I serve it to him.
Yeah.
And I was angry, man. I was like, I specifically told you, do not serve me a brown ale. And you know what you did? You served me a brown ale. I'm never coming back.
All right. So where's the line? Okay. So ESBs. Do you like ESBs at all?
Yep. Love them. Like them.
What about an alt, German alt?
Depends.
Depends. Okay. What about like a super hoppy brown ale?
Nope.
What about a light porter, like a brown porter?
Nope.
Smoked porter?
Yes.
Okay.
Porter and above. Awesome.
Okay.
Just don't give me a brown ale, man.
What about like a Belgian brown? Like, okay. What about a Oud Bruin, or like a brown, like a Flanders, sour, like brown ale?
Well, a Flanders red.
Well, there's red, but then what's Oud Bruin, like the brown version?
Nope.
Nope. Well, is it you think it's like do you like toast? How dark do you like your toast?
Light.
Okay.
IPA like.
Okay. All right. What about, let me think about this for a second.
I like my toast like I like an IPA. Like it's nice
Light.
golden straw color.
Okay.
A little bit toasty, but not brown.
Do you put butter on it? Light butter, heavy butter?
Peanut butter?
Peanut butter. Dude, toasted like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? That's something I didn't find out about until I was an adult.
What?
Well, I'm saying peanut butter and jelly sandwiches all day long. But like to toast the bread or toast a bagel and throw some peanut butter and jelly on a bagel, toasted bagel? Woo! That's otherworldly.
So to me, those things are very separate from a brown ale across the board.
Well,
just,
yeah.
Just to circle back.
I'm sorry. I was just thinking about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But anyway, the toasting takes it to another level.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not my thing. That's okay. I'm not. For me, I'm not going to buy a brown ale and then go give you a 1-star for it.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to rate it. I'm not even going to drink it. Honestly, I'm not even going to order it.
I'm trying to think where else.
I feel like I've just gone off on this
No, it's good.
tangent of brown
So
ales, which are completely irrelevant.
ESBs are great. They're very bready though. They're not like, it's not roasty as much. What? Okay, so like a Oktoberfest / Märzen.
Yep.
You dig those?
Yes. And I'll take a cask condition ESB any day.
Okay.
I got an ESB in bottles right now.
You made one? Oh, the one you did.
Yeah, the one I did.
Yeah, I love it.
I tried one. It was flat. The carbonation.
That sounds about right for an ESB.
You have it here? Did you bring it with you?
No.
man.
I should have. But I got 39 bottles out of it. Right. I tried one. It was flat. I mean, it tasted flat. So I tried, turning the bottles, all 38 of them, upside down, just kind of, slowly trying to, took them out of the
rouse the yeast a little.
Yeah, to try to get them to
carbonate.
Yeah,
wake up.
Eat some more. Yeah, and so I've
work?
done that now, and now that the temperature's dropped, my house is, I just have it sitting out.
What's your house at right now? 72.
70.
He like in the summer he keeps his house like 78. 77. Keep ours like 68.
So what do you keep yours during the winter right now?
And the heat's not even on yet. The house is like 54 degrees.
Oh, jeez.
It's great. We turn the fire on.
I finally had to turn my heater on.
I slide my big
cold.
leather chair up to the fireplace and just like I'll read. It's the best.
Smoke your
But-
pipe. put
but,
your
That's the
sweats on.
thing. Yeah, I wish I need like a
What,
I
you
have.
Santa Claus or something?
I'm getting there. One day I'll be there. I'm not old enough yet. I'll be there. It's There's something about. I do have a pipe though. I don't smoke it that often. It's been a long time. I love the smell. Like I keep it in my sock drawer. So like this hat smells like the tobacco. So
Wow,
because I keep this in my sock
I
drawer.
didn't know that.
You can want to smell it? Want to smell my head?
No. I'm kidding. But no, my ESP. So hopefully, I'll crack it open here.
ESB
It's
is
gone through its stages
I
of
love ESBs.
recarbonating.
It's like who makes good ESBs? Eureka Heights makes a good one. Holler, they won the medal. There's a place in Arkansas. I've talked about this enough, but Core Brewing in Arkansas makes a really good one.
Hopefully,
That
this
bre-
turns out really good.
It's like bready, like comfort, like in a glass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what about? I'm trying to figure out where the brown what the brown line is, the brown note or whatever.
No, so look, give me a porter or give me a stout, no problem.
You said some alts.
Yeah, it just depends, man. Give me, I don't know.
What about a double Belgian double?
Depends.
Okay.
Depends on the beer.
I mean, that's a
Depends.
could be a super.
So do you do any darkers here? I don't know if I missed that. Do y'all
We
do
do.
any
Yeah.
stouts, porters?
We do, yeah.
Ambers?
We served a Russian Imperial this week.
Oh.
We're working on the Imperial Milk Stout. So it's coming, man.
You know what I've found? Okay, so I was drinking a stout this weekend, and when it's cold, like I like to drink, like we'll do a lot of fire pit out back whenever the weather gets kind of like this. Maybe not quite this cold, but like when a stout, like if it's colder outside, it keeps it cold. It's almost like there almost needs to be some sort of like blanket for a cup, like for a tulip glass or something for your imperial stout. This is just me holding a cup. In
Like
my-
Why do you
like
have
a
one glove
koozie?
on?
in case like
Like a koozie?
a koozie, but it keeps it warm instead of keeps it cold.
Ah.
Because like you want your stout to warm up, right, in your hand. But if your hands are cold already,
Does nothing.
it's like, oh, if this could just be 7 degrees warmer, it would be perfect and like go with the weather a little more. I don't know, like you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you've ever experienced that where your stout was just a little too cold and wouldn't.
And see,
wouldn't
I
work.
mean, unless I'm drinking it wrong, but I'm just not I like my beers cold.
But like a stout, I'm not talking about like hot.
Just anything. I know not hot, but
like 50 degrees, 55.
50's good.
I'm
Yeah.
just however it comes out.
I want it warmer than not warmer than this. Warmer than my like if my hand is cold holding the glass. Like today, if you were outside, no matter what you're holding, it's going to stay cold. Like your hand's going to feel cold on the glass.
Sure.
Most styles, that's okay. But like a stout, when I'm drinking it by the fire outside, I want it to, like I need to put it closer to the fire. Something.
No, it's tough, man. Winter is a tough time for breweries across the board.
Yeah.
There's market research out there that suggests that that's true, and we see that here. Winter's a tough time because nobody wants to come here right now when it's 35 outside and 36 in here and drink a beer that's 40 degrees or
know.
35.
Well, you're not getting.
It's just tough.
Yeah.
It's really
I would
tough.
do it.
No,
Like
yeah,
under this-
definitely. Yeah,
the
no,
one-
I don't have a problem with that.
Lights.
I mean, you'll see.
I
You'll
don't
see
have a problem with that.
people drink a lot of beer around Christmas time, around New Year's, but in the New Year you have a couple things going for you. It's cold.
Mm-hmm.
You have New Year's resolutions. Let's go work out, not drink beer. So,
Waste of time.
January is a tough time for breweries in general. I feel to sell beer, but I think it partly is temperature.
Some of it. Yeah.
Nobody wants to drink a beer when it's cold outside.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, not the last episode before Thanksgiving. I think I've got one more next week lined up. I'm not gonna. It's a Skype recording. Just talking about it. You can come over and hang out during it. We'll talk. But anyway, when you approach, okay. So first of all, your approach to Thanksgiving meal.
Mm-hmm.
What are your favorite dishes? How do you cook your turkey? Some people deep fry it. What do you do? What's the Marcus Wunderle
We're
approach?
a little unique because we're vegetarians.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's right. That's right. How's that work? Is that good? It's still working? Everything's still good?
Amazing. So
Okay.
we make a badass stuffing.
Okay.
It's amazing.
He's
and
like-
that really is kind of like part of the main course.
Okay.
But I mean, it's full blown, day old bread,
Mm-hmm.
cranberries, a lot of spices, a lot of seasoning, a lot of vegetable broth. I mean, it's pretty intense.
Okay.
It's a whole day process. But we do everything else. We do everything but a turkey. We do
Okay.
everything like you would normally. But for me, man, fresh crushed cranberries, We use some red wine, sometimes some orange zest or some orange juice.
Yeah.
In the mixture, we cook them all down with some sugar and some red wine and cranberries and stuff. Man, that's where it's at.
What beer do you pair with, of all the dishes that you prepare? Like, how many would you say you prepare? Like
Dishes? I don't know, 6 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always a lot. Like
Standard. I mean,
do
usually
this-
maybe sweet potatoes, maybe stuffing, maybe cranberries, and then
Do you do just straight cranberries, or like I've got this? For the last few years, we've done like this cranberry blueberry. It's really good.
Interesting.
I
No, we
love
do
cranberries. Yeah,
straight cranberries.
Right, and I love them both. It's a little like mixed. I'm like, cranberries are traditional. That's what I did growing up. But then my wife's aunt, she gave us this recipe for this with the blueberries. I was like, oh man, I love blueberries too, and it works. Like you get the tart from the cranberry and then that pop of that blueberry, and it's sweet, and they just kind of mix together really well. I feel like that would be a good beer combination on some level somewhere. But anyway, I don't know, so I'm a little conflicted. But it's tough to find a beer that pairs well with everything across the board. So what's your approach as far as like pairing beer?
No approach. We just drink it.
Okay.
A lot of it. Honestly, it's like wake up, have a cup of coffee,
Yeah.
crack a beer.
Okay.
I mean, it's Thanksgiving
Simple.
Day, man.
Simple.
It's
All right.
it's simple.
So I'm overcomplicating things, I think, is what it sounds like.
Potentially. Yeah, potentially. I mean, but it depends, right? It depends what mood you're in. I mean, sometimes we're cooking on the grill. Sometimes we're inside. If you're cooking on the grill, you're drinking like a Hefeweizen or something light where you can just sit there and drink you're drinking something like a Zwarte Quas where you can
Yeah. Ooh, that would be
4.25%.
that would be good.
You can drink 8 of them and you're like, cool.
I'll say this. Okay, so first I have to ask a question about your vegetarianism. Cheese on the table? Is that doable?
Yeah, we do cheese.
What about like ice cream and things like that? So dairy products are cool. So it's not veganism,
Not
which is
vegan,
like
yeah.
no animal.
It's
but-
it's not vegan, but we limit our animal product intake, if you will.
Okay. Let me say this. I don't want to make anybody angry on any side of spectrum or whatever. I'm going to just put out my own personal observation. Turkey, overrated. Dark meat is the best. And there's very little of it on the bird. The legs have too much of that. What is that? The little connective, like stringy tissue thing. The meat is delicious.
Ligament.
Yes.
Ligament. There you go.
The meat is delicious, but there's too much of that, so you can't just gnaw on it. It's not like a chicken leg. It's like too much. And so the dark meat is what you should be eating. More nutrients. Mike, I see you look conflicted. Do you like the
I'm just
white
listening.
meat? Do you like white meat?
I like
Do you
dark
always
meat.
go white meat?
No, I like the dark stuff.
Okay. I just feel it's better, and there's not that much of it. So turkey, I feel turkey overall a little overrated.
The drumsticks at the Renaissance Festival?
The big ones, the turkey legs.
Huge.
Yeah. Ooh, dude,
Delicious.
I grill some
People
up.
love those.
Yeah. There's something about that. It's like nature's handle, like nature's food on a stick.
Caveman stuff.
Yeah. It's like that's how we were. It was. Where was I going to go after that?
You talking about your dark meat on the ligaments on the bird?
Oh yeah. I just gonna say turkey overrated. It gets a little dry.
Yeah.
It's like I get it. We eat it,
Sure.
but it's a little overrated. But yeah, the dark meat. Go dark meat, everybody. But I would think the thing that everybody looks forward to most is the sides, like broccoli casserole with the cheese, squash casserole, stuffing's the best.
And don't forget green bean casserole. I don't
Green-
know.
yeah.
I'm a northerner. I'm
That's
not
good.
sure if that's a thing here.
How do
That
you
is.
do? Do you do the little like fried onion things on there?
Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
What else do you do? Like I know some people do like the cream sauce.
It's pretty basic. I mean, like cream of mushroom
Yes.
sauce and
Okay.
green beans. Oh
That's-
yeah, it's so good, man.
Okay.
So good.
Do you do sweet potatoes and mashed potatoes?
Yeah, we can. We've done that in
Okay.
the past.
That's all.
Depends.
We do too, and it's always kind of a funny thing where it's like, why do we do both? I mean, I'm going to eat both, but why do we? I've always questioned that. Like, why do we have
The
two
potatoes?
sweet potatoes and it's
Yeah,
like mashed
yeah.
potatoes?
You got to separate it, man. So the sweet potatoes are like a dessert potato.
It really is.
So
It's
we
kind
do like a
precursor
like
to dessert.
like a chunky sweet potato, not mashed.
True. Okay.
And
Yeah.
you do marshmallows on top of that.
Yes.
Got to caramelize them.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Do you go
Yeah.
small mini mellows or big mellows?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Small ones are great, but whatever.
Whatever floats your
I mean,
whatever.
different.
Do you do like
They taste the
pecans
same.
in there too?
No.
Some people do the pecans. Do you ever do the pecans in your sweet potatoes?
Usually brown sugar,
Yeah.
sweet potatoes.
Yeah. The pecans are,
Uh-huh.
it's not, I can go either way, but sometimes like that little crunch, it's like, that's not bad. Would you ever do a sweet potato beer?
I've had some. I'm not saying they're bad. I
Yeah.
just don't know what the significance of the sweet potato in a beer is.
Okay.
I don't quite get it. I don't understand that.
I mean,
combo.
It's like that, like Mount Everest.
It goes with a brown ale really well. I just don't get it. Potato and beer, it's not my thing.
No pumpkins.
Pumpkin is disgusting.
Okay.
Pumpkin tastes bad.
There's a gene. Not every. I love pumpkin.
I like pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
But I don't really like eating pumpkin.
Okay. All right, I get it. There's a gene. There's something
like
there.
Raw pumpkin is no good.
No, raw, no, but like roasted.
Yeah.
What about butternut squash?
Yeah, can do that.
Yeah, I mean it's similar.
Pumpkin's okay if it's done right. Just like anything, if you do it right,
Yeah.
it's good.
I like the Brussels sprouts with the bacon, a lot of bacon on there, and some onion,
Brussels
and maybe a
sprouts
little
are good.
balsamic vinegar reduction or something along those lines. But roasted Brussels sprouts, they get real yummy. There's almost like a chocolate essence to them, like when you burp. After, never, nobody. Is that just me? Okay. I don't know. What's your favorite dish for Thanksgiving, Mike?
I like the ham.
Oh, you go ham. You
Well-
go full ham.
I like ham.
Y'all go turkey and ham?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, we do that too.
because Mom knows that I like ham. I mean, I like turkey. I'll eat it, but
Yeah.
I prefer the ham.
So she does one just for you?
No, not just for me.
You're her baby boy?
I am her baby boy, but not just for me though.
Her 40-year-old baby boy?
I mean, once you're a baby boy, you're a baby boy, no matter how old you are.
Okay. Someday you got to cook your own ham.
Someday I will.
Will
I don't
you?
know when, but I will.
No, you won't.
Someday.
How often do you go to your mom's house for dinner?
2 or 3 times a week.
It's adorable.
It's 4 miles down the road. Might as well.
That's true. That's
Oh.
true. If my mom lived that close, I'd probably go more
Yeah.
often. She's 10 hours down the road.
That's a little far.
Yeah. No, I can't get there on a lunch break.
Nope.
Let's talk the future, Marcus. Let's talk the future. Are there any styles? Obviously not the brown ale. Obviously not anything with sweet potatoes or pumpkins. But of all, a ton of beers styles, varieties that you've brewed. Is there anything you haven't and you're looking at? You're like, I see that on the horizon. We're going to get one of those one day.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like I said, we're working on our stouts. We've got a pretty decent one in the cooler now. It's a Russian Imperial.
Now, when you say we, you and
Yeah.
the wife?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
just the business in general. I mean,
Gotcha.
I never refer to this business as I. It's just
Sure.
not,
Yeah.
it's
No,
not
you,
mine.
and you
I mean,
haven't. Yeah, you haven't.
I work here. It's our thing, if you will.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah, we've got the stout going. We're working on a bigger stout. Excuse me. We're working on a bigger stout. I think the next direction is just perfecting what we have now, maybe simplifying a little bit, but perfecting, and then going into barrels. I mean, we've got to get some beer into barrels.
What of barrel? There's so much, like every aspect of brewing has so much variety and variation. When you say barrels, are you thinking like bourbon? Are you thinking wine, rum? What really tickles your
Champagne?
fancy?
Yeah.
What really tickles your fancy?
Yeah, across
All
the
that?
board. I mean, this is an experimental place. I mean, it's small, it's experimental. So I think we'll try all of the above, and we'll see where we land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's anytime people talk about bubbles or anything like that, it's there's so much variation in everything that it just doesn't. There's no way we're even close to figuring out all of this beer stuff.
No, of course not. I mean, for me to have over here, if I had a rum barrel, if I had a bourbon barrel, if I had a red wine barrel and a neutral barrel, I would love it.
Yeah.
I would sell them all separately and equally, and it'd be actually quite amazing.
Yeah, very cool. All right, so real quick before we wrap up, hours of operation are
Right now, they don't exist. So
Wait.
we're looking in the new year, probably around February,
okay.
February-ish,
Cool.
to open up full time again.
All right.
What's full time?
Not sure yet. Not sure, but
Like hours of tap room.
yeah, not sure. We'll update you guys when it happens. But I mean, previously we were open on Saturday afternoons and evenings, so we'll probably stick to that for a while. Maybe Saturdays late afternoon to early evening.
Cool. Seeing how all the moving pieces of life happen
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
as we all
exactly.
deal with. Cool.
So I mean, eventually we'll open this place more often, but for now, it's just is what it is.
Okay. In this around this area, where can the Renaissance Festival is one place we can find your beer. I know I've seen it at Murdoch's over in Cyprus.
Correct.
Anywhere else that off the top of your head? That you
Yeah.
can
So starting Thanksgiving week, we'll be we've got Gobble Gobble Goo going out. We'll be putting that into Growler Spot and Fulshire, Growler USA and KD. maybe as far as there's a place up in Brenham we sell to.
Cool.
They may take some as well. But it's basically from Katy to east side of downtown. We're in a number of places, so you can find us at baababrewhouse.com. We post everything there, including a map of where all of our beers go.
Cool.
We'll see what happens, but we'll be sure to announce it when it comes out.
Okay. Well, everybody be on the lookout for all the wonderful things coming out of the Baa Baa Brewhouse, formerly known as Houston area's smallest brewery, now just maybe the most delicious. I don't know. I mean,
Just brewery.
one of the awesome breweries around here. Marcus, thank you so much for
thank you
doing
guys.
the podcast today. Everybody stay warm out there and be on the lookout for all these delicious beers and give them a fair rating based on what you like. Or if you don't like it,
To style.
to style. That's what we've learned today.
Yes.
And keep the pinkies out. And drink good beer with your Thanksgiving and don't overthink it. What else have we learned today? Go to Mike's mom's house for dinner because she makes delicious food apparently. And brown ales are garbage.
That's what we learned.
Is that?
That's what we learned.
Pretty good wrap up.
Yeah, that pretty much sums up the show. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. For Marcus Kinga, who's out actually working today, for TD Mike, I'm Josh. This is InterBrews.
This is InterBrews.
The preceding has been a presentation of Stewed Productions.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed this episode of InterBrews. If you did, hey, show us some support. Go to our Patreon page, become a Patreon supporter, and there's exclusive interviews and episodes just for you. If you do that, if you've enjoyed the show, get a little more, and help us go on for another 7 years. It's been 7 years. We want to go on for 7 more. I guess that's a long time. 14 years for a podcast. Has anybody done that? I don't think so. Anyway, show your support if you'd like. We really appreciate it a ton, and exclusive shows. So thank you in advance, and we'll see you next episode of InterBrews.